Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. So last episode, we were sick, we learned the truth about being a witch, and I think we're getting a little closer to Rumpel, sort of, in a way. My girl is starting to realize we feel a certain way towards Rumpel and hate it when he compliments other girls. So hopefully she knows that she's falling in love with him, maybe? The song slowly fades from my mind as I go about my work for the day. I'm still a little shaky on my feet, but not so much that I need to go back to bed. As I'm walking around the bar, I catch snatches of conversation as I serve food. I hear the king has been mediating arguments between his two advisors. That Mithras man. He reminds me of a snake, always smiling that slithery smile of his. That one and Alcaster. Apparently there has been no end to their squabbles. The king missed his monthly visit to the town yesterday, didn't he? I wonder if he's sick. There's been no word from the palace, but I suppose he must have come down with something. Nothing would keep the king from visiting otherwise. What's going on at the palace? You heard about the incident with the royal guard. Apparently lots of them have been getting dishonorably discharged. Found doing something to dishonor the king's name. Huh? Like what exactly? Not sure. That information is still under wraps. I'm walking forward, not watching where I'm going, when I collide with someone in my path. I feel a hand on my shoulder, and then another lifts my chin. Oh, it's Rumpel! My heart. If it isn't the lovely princess, you look a lot peachier today. Because you're not as pale. Because the color's coming back into your skin. I'm still thinking of the king and the situations in the palace, and barely hear Rumpel's words. It isn't until he leans closer to me and narrows his eyes that I realize he is so close. Now Sleeping Beauty is truly awake, and here I was hoping I would have an excuse to plant a kiss on your lips, my sweet princess. Not a single reaction today. Not a slight blush. Not a slap. Not... Are you still sick? Must I perform another examination? Examination? Yes, by looking closely at your face, into your eyes. How are you a doctor, Rumpel? Rumpel stares at me with surprise. I'm not sure where the question came from, just that it was hovering in my mind. What? Princess, you wound me! I have not seen you do anything different from a niece. But my prescriptions. Even the people at the shop could tell us what medicines to buy. Fine, I'll show you. Rumpel's expression slips into something shockingly solemn. He looks at me gravely and extends a hand. If you would be so kind as to come up to my room. Does going up to your room have anything to do with work? Laura appears before me again, this time without the snide smile. She raises an eyebrow. I don't think either of your shifts are over. She looks at me first. Also, I meant for the lullaby to inspire you, not scare you, princess. For a few moments she looks concerned, which startles me. The lullaby is certainly associated with a terrible memory, but the weight of that memory has dissipated over time, as has my anger at Delora. It is still there, but holding on to that anger does me no good. I sigh and shake my head. You have a terrible voice. There's a princess we all know and love. She crosses her arms. In a way, you don't want me to sing you into action again, do you? Come to my room later then, princess. I'll show you proof. Proof? That I am a capable doctor. Rumpel walks off, leaving me with Delora, who looks at me skeptically for a few moments. Something on your mind, princess? There were so many conversations I heard earlier, so many questions that I have. While I do not want to speak to Delora, I may as well ask her about something she might know. I overheard rumors about the palace. Get you now. We still haven't confirmed those rumors yet. Look, princess, I know it's not in your nature to trust people, but trust Parfait and me at least. We'll let you know if something is up. I'm ushered back to work where I spend the next few hours searching for more information. Unfortunately, everything I hear is just speculation. Good work today. Has Rumpel already left? I think he went up to his room earlier. Thank you. Anise looks at me curious. What? You and Rumpel have grown a lot closer, haven't you? Well, we are partners. But in the beginning you didn't even want him as a partner. And now the two of you are... friends? Don't use that friend word on me. Friends. If Rumpel considers me a friend, that should make me happy, but for some reason it makes me feel empty inside. Why? What else could we be besides friends? My cheeks feel warm as I try to think beyond the idea of just being friends with Rumpel. I'm happy that the two of you get along. Anise, I need to go. I told him I would meet him for something tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry for holding you up. Anise scrambles off, leaving me by myself. I stand there for a few moments in an attempt to still my thoughts, and then I begin to make my way to Rumpel's room. Rumpel? The door swings open and there stands Rumpel. With a dramatic bow, he ushers me inside before closing the door behind him. I honestly don't know what he is trying to show me because we came in his room before. I wasn't entirely certain that you'd show up, Princess. Normally when you go places with me, it's out of necessity. I only came to see this proof you insisted upon earlier. Proof that you are more than what you seem. He places a hand on my back and guides me over to a chair. He requests that I sit, and I do. Here it is, my proof. You tried to read it while you were sick too. Oh, his journal. Your journal. I have seen him write in this before, but I thought it was for his memories, not for doctor things. He barely even works on patients now. Rumpel's persistence stokes my curiosity, and soon I find myself flipping through the pages of the book. This was a journal you had when the merchant found you on the streets. You said it was empty then. It was. I have been filling things in from memory ever since I remembered my job. The book is filled with diagrams of the body, both inside and out. I have no idea what most of the words mean. What are all the smaller words here? There. Oh, parts of the pancreas. Not very fun to talk about. There's a papilla, a pancreatic duct. Why is it necessary to use such big words for such simple things? For clarification, sometimes when you diagnose a problem, it isn't as simple as telling a person that their heart is weak. I continue flipping through it, with Rumpel sometimes explaining things that are on the page, though I do not ask for the descriptions. Scattered throughout the room are journal entries about his life. When I get to the last entry, I spot my name and begin to read, but before I can even get to the next word after my name, Rumpel has taken the journal from my hands. Sorry, my sweet, but a man's words are sometimes all he has. Insult them and you break him from the inside out. He thinks I'm going to insult his writing. But what did you think? Aren't you impressed with my sophistication? My breadth of knowledge? My intricacy? He drew some pictures and wrote fancy words by them. Princess! I cannot help the little laugh that escapes my lips. Immediately after I hear it, I feel myself flushing as Rumpel grins at me triumphantly. Your laughs are sweeter than honey, Princess. And because your voice is back and you're no longer sick, I can hear it in all of its fullness. He takes a step closer to me and reaches out to touch my cheek. I flinch in surprise, but do not draw away. The rapid beating of my heart is not altogether uncomfortable, even if it does confuse me. He pulls his hand away from my cheek, then flicks my forehead. What was that for? I wanted to see the way your eyes glimmered. You looked oddly vacant there for a few moments. I opened my mouth to speak again, but Rumpel surprises me by setting his finger on my lips. He inches closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my cheeks. But even when you don't speak, your eyes speak for you. You have beautiful eyes, you know. So, do we look away here? Oh, how far did I save? Holy crap. I want to look at him, though. Look at him. I know it's gonna be wrong, but oh well, I go back anyway. Does he truly ever mean his compliments? I know he spoke about meaning everything that he says, but I continue to stare at him. I do not look away even once, though I do feel a slight shudder run through me when Rumpel keeps my gaze. Fierce as always. He removes his finger, but does not step back. We're still so close I can feel his breath. Fierce. You. Yeah, you. Never backing down from anything, always resisting, always putting up a wall. That's what His words falter, and then he simply stops what he was saying. He looks at me again. Clears his throat, then starts speaking again. In any case, it's so nice to have you back, Princess. I missed you while you were sleeping day in and out. Missed me? But you have friends all over the Marchen. Yes, but none of them are you. You're special. My heart plunges like a rock. I can feel it everywhere in my body, reverberating from a place that doesn't feel like my chest. He lowers his face so that the two of us are seeing eye to eye. I forget to breathe as his hands go to my shoulders. Princess? Yes? I'm oddly blushing super red over here in the picture earlier. I inhale sharply as I get a better look at Rumpel's face. Up until now, I have not stopped to look too closely at its features. Not now, but now I cannot stop my eyes from taking them in. Whenever you're sick again, I'll be there to help you, because I am a doctor, even if you might not believe it. All you ever really need is a little vitamin me. In one precious moment, every single bit of energy that had been between us vanishes. I stare blankly at Rumpel as he smiles at me. No? I thought that was... I thought that one was actually good too. Okay, well, we gotta go back. Alright, we have to look away. Ugh. There he goes again with his compliments. I should be used to them by now, but lately whenever he compliments me, I cannot stop myself from feeling flattered. When I look into his eyes, I can almost see my reflection in them. Without realizing, I look away from him, feeling my breath stop short before I can breathe out. Are you sick, Princess? You look a little flushed. Princess? He moves his finger. He does not, however, step back. I'm still aware of his lips so close to mine and his eyes, which are still looking right at... Oh, okay. This feels different from your usual resistance. Could it be that you're embarrassed? Ah, okay. That's what we were supposed to pick. Rumpel pulls his hands away to feed it. I suddenly feel strangely upset. What was I expecting from him? What else could he have said? Suddenly I am eager to look away from him. I look anywhere but at him, and eventually my eyes fall on a piece of paper. I recognize the name printed on the top, along with Rumpel's signature and the response lying next to him. Rumpel moves to stand in front of the desk once more. Ah, that's... You're still writing to Bria. I sent her a letter asking for my old journals. I'm convinced that's where the last of my memories are, but she refuses to give them to me. I glance at Bria's letter, my eyes scouring the words. I make a mental note of the address on the envelope. But don't worry, Princess, I'll figure it out. But for now... He reaches for me, but I ducked out of the way of his hand. I have to do this now, while the address is still fresh in my head. I just remember there is something I need to do. Princess, I will see you tomorrow. I pause at the doorway to glance at Rumpel. See you tomorrow, Princess. Sweet dreams. Good night, Rumpel. Yo, her brain's better than mine. I would forget it real quick. Done. I seal the envelope over the letter I had been writing since I woke up, and now to have it delivered. After I had the letter sent off with a messenger, I return to my work for the day. It starts first with Mr. Broom, then with the serving. I look for Rumpel, knowing that it is now his time off, and I am surprised when I see him sitting not with other women, but with Karma. The two of them are laughing together? I guess that advice isn't too terrible. I give the best advice, darling. I'm a man of the heart. Perhaps not as much as I am, but I can give you credit when it's due. What are you two talking about? Princess! Well, hello there, Princess. Karma's mischievous smile confuses me. Even Rumpel looks surprisingly shaken. You did not answer my question. We're talking about matters related to the heart. Well, of course you are. I took it upon myself to impart valuable advice to Rumpel. You're giving Rumpel advice, even though you two are always at each other's throats? Ah, even the bitterest enemies can be beloved friends. All it takes is a shared interest. I have no idea what you're talking about. But before I can say anything else, I am swept up by Delora, who calls me back to work. The day goes on, and soon it's almost my break. I go to the front to see if the messenger has returned yet. Oh, Princess, there's a letter here for you. I did not expect a response. I open it up and stare down at the letter for a long time. Writing love letters to a secret lover, Princess. Rumpel appears behind me, a smile unusually small. He looks almost hesitant to be standing there. It's not important. I stuff the letter into my pocket and continue working. Oh, is he now the jealous one? For the rest of the day, I ignore Rumpel. I do not want him asking about this letter, just in case things don't go according to plan. He is obviously disheartened by me ignoring him, and his sadness only persists in making me feel guilty. This is not something he can know about, otherwise he'll try to stop me. Almost everyone has gone to their rooms, including a very saddened Rumpel. The only people remaining are Anise and myself. Earlier, Watts came in insisting that I speak to Delora and Parfait, and so the three of them are off talking in the other room. Curiosity gets the better of me, and soon I find myself sweeping closer to the door. I edge it open quietly with my foot so that I can see what is happening inside. I didn't think he was still alive. This is very troubling. He must have used the glamour. The fact that I didn't realize it was him Is that the princess I saw peeping through the door? I try to hide, but all the eyes in the room catch me before I can do so. Do you eavesdrop on people often, Michiko? I had no real reason to eavesdrop on them besides my own curiosity. It's no harm done, Delora. Michiko, are you almost done with your chores? Ever since that conversation with Parfait and Delora, I have noticed that the words Parfait and I speak to each other are strained. Delora, however, is unchanged. I expect sarcasm from her now, but she does not deliver. She simply stands still and looks at me somberly. I am. And what are you all talking about? Hiding more things from me? We're talking about the rumors that have been going around about the palace. Have you heard? I have a right to know what is happening at the palace. We would tell you if we knew for certain, Princess. Walt sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. I know the timing doesn't seem right, but I really should show myself out. I have a show early morning tomorrow. He glances around at all of us. I'm going to excuse myself for the night. Good night, everyone. Oh, but Walt, we just saw you. As he passes by me, he smiles. And to you too, Princess. Oh. He greets me out differently. Once again, everyone is being secretive. Why the sour face, Princess? Are you worried about what happens to the people in the palace you care nothing for? Delora! Yes, you are right. Okay, that wasn't called for. But really though, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Since you're here now, I may as well say it. I knew you for 1 year before I cursed you. I saw what your mother had done to you, and I knew I needed to undo the damage before your birthday. Why is she talking about this now? I called you cruel and wicked, when really I knew that the way you were was caused by the way your mother brought you up. And when we talked about Hildire the other day, I was unfair in what I said to you. We all had to face reality, but... Delora pauses, looking surprisingly solemn. She sighs, then continues. I always knew you had some good in you. I saw it when you spoke to your dolls. You have a good heart. Many people enjoy flattery, Princess, and a lot of people are receptive to flirting, but nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. Ooh, can we say thank you? Can we say thank you? It's probably wrong, but whatever. I will go back. Out of all people, I did not expect Delora to compliment me, not when she makes a point of always telling me the blunt truth. Thank you. There's no shock on Parfait and Delora's faces when they smile at me. I'm beginning to think you and Delora are alike. You're both stubborn and have good in you, but you hide it behind sarcasm. Hey, Michiko and I are nothing alike. I feel lighter somehow. I do not know if I have forgiven Delora just yet, but her cursing me has led me to see many things I would not have seen before. I owe her nothing, but I'm still happy, even if the truth hurts. Oh, what's this? My lovely princess is in here with you two. Ah, Rumpel, you're early tonight. Surprised to see me, beautiful. Oh, you're so cute. Rumpel's earlier anxiety is gone. He looks at me with an unbridled enthusiasm. I heard the princess thank you from a distance. The words are always most beautiful when leaving her mouth. Where's my thingy? So you were also eavesdropping. You two are very alike. Not at all. Rumpel leans toward me and smiles. Oh, there it is, thank you. My dream is to one day hear those words from you too, because you say them as gentle as the wind. If you're here to talk to Parfait about medicine, then I'm out. Michiko, you should leave too. Well then, sleep well, beautiful maidens. Okay. I quickly finish my chores and return to my room, where I lay on my bed contemplating tomorrow. I cannot believe Bria wrote back to me. Tomorrow I will meet with her and hopefully she will agree to give me her journals. I hope this works. Rumpel's state. Oh, is this another good deed? This is so another good deed. What is that? Chevalier? What is that? Did I read that right? I don't think I read that right. Today I'm outside by myself. I think if Parfait or Delora knew, they would do worse than scold me. I shuffle uncomfortably as I sit at the little cafe Bria told me to wait for her at. A part of me is already convinced that she will not come. When I wrote her that letter asking for Rumpel's journals, and she responded so easily, I was a little suspicious, but this is really the only chance I have. The only chance you'll have at what? At helping your ex-fiancé. Bria appears in front of me, not looking altogether unpleased, but still not smiling. Nothing. I don't like her, but I will have to play nice if I want to get Rumpel's journals back. Thank you for meeting me out here. Bria takes a seat in front of me, her expression still flat. You asked me in your letter why I was refusing to speak to Rumpel, and then you told me you wanted to meet me to find out why. You want the journals too, don't you? She reaches into a bag and pulls out a few journals that I assume are Rumpel's. Oh, okay, she brought them. Good. So she does have them. I know in your eyes I must seem the villain, but I'm not the only one at fault in this relationship. Years ago when I met Rumpel, he was as he is now, flirtatious, charming, over the top, and yet his compliments still made my heart soar. His compliments may be shallow, but Rumpel was far from it. I pinned after him for years. He was learning medicine, and I was studying to take over my mother's sewing shop. In the first years that I knew him, Rumpel always complimented my work. Even though it was nothing special, he insisted we do trade-offs. When we started dating, he would offer me flowers and trinkets, and in exchange, I would sew him some article of clothing. I can see he's still wearing the scarf that I made him. That scarf was from Bria. We fell in love. Rumpel became a changed man, more serious. He became a doctor, and I opened up a shop. We were supposed to have a fairy tale ending, but her expression falls again as she looks absently down at the table. We saw in each other's ideals that didn't exist. Love can be shallow, or it can be deep. I felt our love was deep, but in truth, I only knew the very surface of Rumpel. The surface? I saw his kindness, his charm, and his drive to do what was right. But then as time went on, I also saw what that meant. The world is a place where only the strong survive. People are kind, but they will take advantage of those who are too caring. This sounds like Mother's words. I shudder as I think about Mother's pessimism, the same kind that lies in me. It is a realistic way of looking at the world, but it is also so dismal and cloudy that it is impossible to see any light within it. Rumpel helped out a lot of people. Many of them were wonderful people, and I was also always happy to see him do so much. But then, he started putting other people above himself, and because we lived together, that meant me as well. Maybe it sounds petty to you, but no woman wants to live in poverty. I look at her skeptically. In the back of my mind, I remember the convenience of luxury, of so much money. I then recall the feeling of living poor on the streets and flinch. We had a house and we had a reputation, but Rumpel refused money most of the time. He helped lots of poor people, but he also dried out our wallets. And whenever I brought it up to him, he would smile as if he could just get rid of all of our problems. He made a name for himself as a doctor who helped the poor for minimal money, sometimes for free. And even when I told him we needed more money, he put other people first. He was so selfless, then he became selfish. And I told him before that he should have accepted money, that he needed it. So selfless, he became selfish. I had to go behind his back and find payment. What I was making wasn't enough. So I went to find his patients and try to ask for payment. I became almost like a beggar. Can you imagine my humiliation? Rumpel put his patients before Bria. I was convinced that he didn't love me, and my love dwindled for him. Our relationship became strained. Bria goes on to explain the events that happened between her and the nobleman. He was one of Rumpel's patients, and when she went to him to ask for the money he had originally offered. The two of them became intimate. But it was short-lived, and when the nobleman left her behind, Bria had to deal with a sour reputation. I wanted to make it up to Rumpel. I thought I could salvage this relationship, maybe even start over and teach him what was right, but that is not my place. He sighs deeply and then gestures at me. I share blame in all of this too, but so does Rumpel. That's why I've decided to let this all go. Whatever he does now, you'll have to deal with, because you're his partner, right? Bria hands me the bag of journals. Don't look so surprised. You came here for these, not to listen to me. I thought on it last night, and I have no reason to keep them around when they'll just continue making me bitter. I'll have to rely on myself for a while, but that's fine. Sometimes it's easier to keep to yourself than to trust others. She moves to stand up, but I surprise myself by reaching out to grab her hand. Bria, I don't need your pity. I thought the same thing. What? I still think the same thing. It is so much easier to close the world off, if it's so much easier to trust no one but yourself. But it should also be a balance. That is what Rumpel has taught me. And I want to teach him how to have balance too. You? You're falling for his kindness the same way I did. You fell in love with him, even though you told yourself he was shallow and unrealistic. My heart thumps once, loudly in my chest. Love? You can read it right off your face. I know how it feels too, but don't get wrapped up in an ideal little girl. That is my warning. If you can help him, actually help him, then you're meant to be together. But otherwise, trusting Rumpel might only break your heart. I'm not a little girl. I know how to be realistic. The words trail off as I look at her helplessly. Bria surprises me by speaking up quietly. Thank you for listening to me. She pulls her hand away and slowly smiles at me. It is the first honest smile I have seen on her face. I feel something warm at my chest and then a bright light emanates from my necklace. Good deed, for listening to Bria, or... I glance down at the bag of journals, then down on my necklace. Sweet. I knew it. I touch the pendant. The new piece brings a brief smile to my lips. I have 2 good deeds now. Only one more and I can break my curse. Magic. Is this another fairy tale curse? Yes. It was Michiko, wasn't it? Rumpel talked about you fondly. I hope that the both of you break your curses. Good luck. Bria walks away, leaving me by myself in the town square. My mind swirls with everything that she just told me. I still cannot bring myself to like Bria, but I feel more closure now. But now something new plagues my mind. How could I fall in love with someone like Rumpel? The more I say it, the more it becomes a certainty, but rather than fill me with joy, it only makes me more confused. I cannot think about this now. I turn on my heels to head back and bump promptly into a man. Oh, hello. Sorry, madam. He smiles at me and then keeps walking. Bad man. I stare at him, feeling slightly uncomfortable. The mask and cloak, the man reminded me of a performer. Huh? Was that Waltz? No way. Who was that guy? I make my way back to the marching with the bag of journals, still struggling to keep my mind from wandering. Every time I think about Rumpel being so close to me or his kindness toward me, I feel jittery inside. Despite everything that Bria said, I cannot stop these feelings. These feelings are annoying. Yet even as I think that, I know it's not the full truth. Do I really? I hear the merchant's door opening and out steps Waltz. The minute he sees me, his eyes widen and he runs towards me. Princess, where were you? I was running an errand. I held up the bag, but it does little ease to Waltz's frustration. No, that was not Waltz. We were all looking for you when we got worried that the witches had found you. Rumpel already went out into town. What? I'll go... Please, princess, stay inside. His expression softens somewhat until all I can see on his face is worry. I'll go get Rumpel. My mood feels completely dashed as I enter the march into whispers, both relieved and disappointed. Surprisingly, I get away with just a lecture from Delora and Parfait. It seems as if there's something else on their minds, something that most likely involves the rumors circulating around town. I wait downstairs for a long time for Rumpel, but neither him nor Waltz appears. Where are they? I retire to my room later as I wait for news. Waltz eventually returns saying that Rumpel is still out because he had things he wanted to do. I have no idea what that means, but it unsettles me. I kinda want to leave a room. But I'm pretty sure that's the wrong choice. Leave the room. I stand and stop for a few moments to look at the bag of journals beside my bed. And here I was looking forward to giving those journals to him. I make my way toward the door, turn the knob, and then walk outside. Princess! Before I can even think about anything, I feel his warmth envelop me and I freeze. One of his hands moves to the small of my back, where it remains as he smiles down at me. I caught you just in time, my feisty sweet. Did you plan on escaping into the dead of night again? Oh, yay! Have words abandoned you in the wake of my dramatic appearance? I hurriedly pry myself away with a little gasp. A few steps back, I can see him in full, and I notice the bouquet he carries. I'm glad to see you back, princess. I'm only sorry that I couldn't make it back here any faster. I had a few errands of my own to run in town. Rumpel holds out the bouquet with a glittering smile. Like buying these flowers for the girl that I really like, for instance. Oh my god! I stare down at the beautiful bouquet made of white lilies, but the appearance slowly leaves my mind as I think of what Rumpel just said. Bought them for a girl he likes, not for me. My heart feels as if it might be pierced through with something sharp. My breath escapes my throat, but I cannot bring myself to inhale again. Rumpel looks at me in alarm. Chico. I nudge him out of the way and walk past him. Wait! Yo! I make my way to the reception area where I collapse onto one of the couches and sit, staring blankly at the walls. The feelings inside of me are too much all at once. I tell myself they do not make any sense and that the way I reacted to what Rumpel said was pitiful, and yet still I cannot stop myself from feeling small. I sink into the couch and close my eyes, willing away the sounds of my rapidly beating heart and the tears stinging the edges of my eyes. I'm not weak, I will not cry, Mother told me. But the thought of Mother makes the tears worse, and soon I am sinking even further into the couch, trying to hide my tear-stained face in my hands. Mother, Bria, they both said the same things. They both said the bad in people, and I too have seen the bad in them. When I was on the streets, no one actually showed me kindness. People will never show you kindness unless there is something in it for them. They will never. I feel sudden warmth as arms wrap around me. I recognize the sensation, the warmth, the comfort. It is all so comforting, so soothing. I must be the worst person in the world to make such a beautiful lady cry is a sin that I must atone for. My body stiffens, but I do not pull away. Where's the bouquet? I was praying he's gonna come up, swoop in, and like, these were for you.